Hello, welcome to Redirect Yourself. I am Donna San Salvador, and I am a licensed mental health counselor with a master's degree in counseling. I like to make videos for people to access for free on YouTube just to be able to cope a little bit better with life so that we can feel a little happier. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad that you found us. And if you're returning, welcome back. Glad you came back. Today, I want to talk about boundaries, developing them. What are they for? Why are they important? So, developing boundaries is part of healthy relationships. Having healthy boundaries means knowing what we will and will not accept from other people. That includes behaviors, language, the way people speak to us, treat us, and act. And if we're not sure of what we will and will not permit, then we tend to have murky boundaries. Murky boundaries are set up for being manipulated or entering into unhealthy relationships. And that can be in any realm of life. That can be with family, that can be with friends, that could be at work, with our bosses, colleagues, doesn't really matter the level of the relationship. Having healthy boundaries, though, allows us to maintain our sense of value, meaning that we live according to our values, while also letting the other person know how we expect to be treated in the relationship. So, one of the things that you might notice is that when you're in a relationship with someone, perhaps you have changed or evolved, grown, had new life experiences since you entered the relationship. And certain things that used to be okay with you are no longer okay. You might feel guilty telling yourself, well, I didn't used to mind that, but now I do. It's not fair for me to change. In actuality, we all change. We all grow. It is a sign that you are a healthy human being living life, learning, and growing. And that means that people who care about us, people in our lives, will also eventually have to adapt and change to that which we have changed. So, when I was younger, for instance, I didn't mind having unexpected company show up at my house. I was a lot less private back then and a lot more open to just kind of having fun. I didn't have quite as many responsibilities and duties and domestic things that I was taking care of. So it used to not be an issue for me. However, currently, anyone in my life knows I do not appreciate uninvited guests. So I prefer to know when someone's coming by and I prefer to have a little notice. What that looks like is I've had a friend, let's say, who was in the neighborhood and called and said, hey, I'm in the neighborhood. I'll be stopping by. I said, no, 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 I'm not prepared for company now. I don't remember what the reason is, but I don't really need to have a reason, do I? It is a boundary of mine that I prefer notice, and I prefer someone to ask if they can come to my home, if they want to come. So I did not answer the door when I said, no, I don't like people coming unannounced. I'm not prepared for visitors at this time, but thank you. They came anyway. And I didn't answer the door. I simply sent back the text, apologies, but I'm not able to have guests at this time. And they left. So, what does that illustrate? I set the expectation of what I want and what I don't want when it comes to visitations at my house unannounced. Then, when the person attempted to break the boundary by coming anyway, I held the boundary firm by not coming to the door, by not admitting them to my home. So that is where often our boundaries break down. We express them, but then when the person maybe doesn't agree with them or doesn't hear them or blatantly and overtly ignores our boundaries, we give in. And then we wonder why they are not observing our boundaries. So, the first step is to get really clear on what you do and do not want. Obviously, we can't do that with everything, but they will come up. The next thing is to express it. There isn't any reason to feel guilty or ashamed of having boundaries. In fact, it's a plus. for the other person as well, meaning they know where they stand with you. They will know better what they want to express or don't want to express with you, what you do and don't want from them, what you will and won't do with or for them. I think that this merits probably more than one video, but I wanted to get out really how important it is to have healthy boundaries, to understand that in time they do change, and that we will need to probably re express them and reset boundaries with long standing relationships. Also, how important it is to establish them up front when you are beginning a new friendship or a new relationship of any kind. And I will make another video about how to enforce your boundaries, especially with folks who tend to not want to hear them, not want to observe them, or think that just doesn't apply to them, right? But for now, we'll leave it at this. I do hope you'll check on some other videos here. Anything that you think is of interest, feel free to comment, like, and share my video or any of the other videos. And I hope you'll return to Redirect Yourself here on YouTube. Thank you so much.